Mr. John Wolf, good evening, sir. I have a question for you. Did you see this news that hit the interwebs as recently as what I'd say a couple of hours ago?
Oh,
Finally, Free Radicals,
yes.
Free Radical Designs. What is it? 24 years old, 24 years in the game. They are closing them. Well, potential closure is what it says. What are your thoughts, sir?
Well, I mean, this is Free Radical. I think that they closed down one other time before, right? Earlier,
Yes.
I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So this is their second go round.
This is the reforming of Free Radical that then got retired again. They first started as Free Radicals, period, and these are the guys. They started off. They were ex Rare devs, so they have pedigree there, right? They're part of the creation team of 007 and Perfect Dark, right? And then after they went with the fire sale that was THQ, they were reformed again when Nordic came around, THQ Nordic and Embracer Group, and Free Radical Design was put together. And yeah, they're still who they are, but now it seems like they're finally going away. What do you think?
I'm of two minds. So the first thing is, it kind of stinks that Embracer, yet again, we're hearing something that they're in trouble, that one of the studios that they picked up is in trouble. That's very unfortunate, okay, because the nice thing about Embracer, up until a year ago or even 6 months ago, right, we were all cheering for them because they were the ones championing these AA studios and bringing these AA quality games to us that had a lot of nostalgia. And Time Splitters has that nostalgia for me, not because I personally liked the franchise, because I hated it. And the reason that I hated it is because like, while I was playing Halo split screen with my cousins and I was owning them on Halo, they would turn to Time Splitters and then say, all right, now that you whooped up on us, now it's our turn to use the little goldfish in Time Splitters and whoop you up. Okay, so I hated this game with a passion. I did appreciate I did appreciate the storyline that the game had. I did appreciate the art style, because as you can see there, it's very and if anybody is a comic fan, you know who Scotty Young is. It's very Scotty Youngish in the art style, which I like. I'm a fan of. But man, did I hate the mechanics of that game. But
it's a shame. I think what you touch on is the fact that Time Splitters is a game of its time.
Yes,
it was before, like it is a first-person shooter on console when first-person shooters weren't on console. The first-person shooter to do it right, that people just went, "Hey, this is how first-person shooters are done," was Halo.
Yes.
Right? Before then, everything else was an experiment. There were some that tried, but the control scheme was garbage.
Exactly.
As great as this game was, the control scheme was completely antithetical, like completely opposite of what we know as today's modern control scheme, right?
And the game was broken.
That, as good as the game was, it wasn't that broken.
Bro, play my cousins. All right, they knew how to use the cheesiest characters. Like, I'm telling you, they would use the little goldfish guy, and since he was so low to the ground, you couldn't shoot him, right? So then they would start teabagging me and stuff like that. And here's the thing, right? This game actually started a console war among us, believe it or not. Okay.
So what you're saying is the problem was most likely between the controller and the seat. I understand.
Yeah. Look, bottom line is you can't compare Halo to Times. And I would tell them that, and they would get mad. They would get mad because they would be like, you know what? That Halo game, yeah, it's pretty good, but it's not on PS2, so it's not that good. And I was always like, you guys are hating. You guys are hating.
No one is saying that Time Splitters needs to be compared to Halo. We're just pouring one out real quick because unfortunately,
it's
the remake may never come to pass because it looks like they were putting this together, and now unfortunately one thing has led to another, and they may not get the opportunity to finish it. So it is unfortunate that this is where we are with it. I will say pour one out for Free Radical Design. They are one of the rare few who used to be around, who had a name of its past. Actually, believe it or not, most of those other names are on Microsoft's side now. You know, the good old studios who have existed for some time. So yeah, let's keep an eye on them and hope they stay safe.
What do you think of? And I'm sorry to interrupt, Kate, but what do you think of overall of what's going on with Embracer in terms of who can kind of be their knight in shining armor here, because things aren't looking too dire over there, man. I'm kind of scared for them.
I honestly don't think they have a knight in shining armor when it comes to saving them right now, because truth be told, it looks like, that unfortunately you're gonna have to pick their bones, right?
Yikes.
Like, seriously, they like everybody's talking about, oh, Microsoft can save them, and true, Microsoft can save them, but is it in Microsoft's best interest to be running around, saving them with all of that? Some things that they have are useful and advantageous, great, but not everything is going to be to their liking. So some things are going to get left off the side, and I doubt that they're going to like provide them enough of a bag to literally turn their ship around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they themselves, Embracer, are going to have to make some very interesting moves to survive.
I just think that they're kind of an IP factory, and you need content on Game Pass, right? So I don't know, but then again, I'm sure Microsoft has already kind of looked into that. So if they don't save them, it's because they did the numbers. The numbers don't add up.
Exactly. What did Phil Spencer once say a while ago? By the time you hear about that thing that you want them to do, chances are it passed his desk already, and there's a reason why he chose not to do it. So it is what it is. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to welcome you to the final episode of 2023, the final episode of the Gamers Playground. A show where myself, no, not ever,
not ever, guys, not ever.
The show that myself and Mr. El Caliente over here come here and we sit down and we speak some PCMR stuff. Oh God.
Poppy Chulo over here.
Get out of here. Get out of here with this. What are we doing?
And C Money, I see you there. I see you there in the chat. No, we do not have cameras, brother. Kay Asante had to get a new battery, and I was too lazy to get mine. That's just
yeah. So that's the thing. That's one thing I've learned. My mirrorless DSLR has a garbage battery which died on me, and of course the USB-C plug, which you'd think it's USB-C, so it's powerful enough, it doesn't charge it enough. So in the middle of the camera, in the middle of the podcast, the camera would just die because I don't have enough energy. So I have actually purchased a new one. It will be on its way soon, but unfortunately you will not see our beautiful, ridiculous faces this time. Don't worry about it. You will see our ridiculous faces next time, but it's all good.
2024, and hopefully a lot slimmer faces too, because I'm doing my thing. All right, I'm doing my thing. I got we're gonna go discussing into I guess our New Year's gaming resolutions that we have for ourselves, and one of those is definitely to get healthier on my side, because I mean I'm 40, man. You can't beat around the bush anymore.
Stop dissing people who are 40. Okay, stop.
I'm just saying, man.
I'm sure I've been 40 longer than you have. Stop it. Anyway, so we're here just kind of, taking we're taking stock of what has happened throughout the year that has been gaming. we appreciate all the folks that have been here throughout this whole week, the whole year of gaming that we've been having these awesome discussions.
Yeah,
and we thought that this time, coinciding with the Game Awards, we'll talk Game Awards. We'll jump into some of the awesome stuff we saw at the Game Awards, talk about the trailers and some of the stuff we what we think there, but also in general, what we think of next year and what we think of what we enjoyed about our year this year. We're a gadget guy, so what gadgets did you really enjoy? You know what?
Yeah,
let's start there. Let's start there. Okay, let's start there real quick, because I really want to get that one out the way, because we tend to be gadget people on this show, and we lead with gadgets. So I think I want to talk about the gadgets as well. But before I forget, and I don't know if the man is in the chat, because if he's in the chat, I need to give him his flowers personally. But if he's not in the chat, I will hunt you down, sir, and I will give you the respect due you, because he has done us a solid. If you see BT Maverick 707 anywhere around, give him that shout out, give him that slow clap, throw some flowers at him. Because the man in the DMs sent me a code to give to all of y'all. he gave me a code for Steam, a Steam code for Hogwarts Legacy. For
That's amazing,
US,
bro.
Yeah, and it works in the US and in Europe. And he said, thank you guys for the great PCMR talks and tips and the great, awesome community you're building. BT Maverick 707, if you're here, thank you, sir.
There.
Oh,
he's here.
There he is. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I was floored when I saw that. I was like, man,
BT,
highly unnecessary. So generous, brother. So generous.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
You.
It means a lot. It means a lot to us, man. For we started this show just kind of like for me and Kay to have an excuse to get together on a weekly basis. We saw that there's not a lot of PCMR-ish shows out there. And it's quickly grown into something really, really special, and it's all because of you guys, honestly. So thank you.
So you know what? Thanks to BT Maverick, there will be a giveaway at the end of this show. As I've done before. I see you there, Kirby. Stop it before I put you on timeout, little boy.
Wait until you turn 30, brother, and those knees start getting weak, and it's not because you lost them because of Mario. Yeah. It's because the knees start getting weak, okay?
It's not because you make bad bets like John Wolf.
Oh, there'll be plenty more of those in 2024. I'm not shy to to go against all odds, baby.
So we have a small knit group on the show and in this chat right now. At some point, I will throw that code in the chat, and someone might get a copy of Hogwarts Legacy on Steam. So thanks again to BT Maverick 707. We appreciate you, good sir. So you know what? Oh yeah, of course. What's Mr. Joe in the Dark doing? Oh, there he goes.
And I put up his comment for a reason because hey, you know this is a PCMR show, but right now I got to give the 2023 award to the PS Portal for best hardware.
Stop that. You got to stop that ridiculousness, man.
Not even close. Not even close.
See, I will allow some nice normal talk and no ridiculousness, but to come on this air and say that is the hardware of the year, you are ridiculous, sir. Ridiculous. What are we talking about right now? I know you enjoyed your time with it, and I appreciate you did that, but come on now. Come on.
Yeah, no. That's definitely not going to be on top of the list. But for me personally, Kay, you know what my favorite hardware of the year was, and that's the Asus ROG Ally. No secret, I'm in the Ally gang. I was day one. I was super excited for it, and we kind of started the show because of these PC handhelds, if you really think about it. And Kay, I'm gonna tell you now, sitting here December 11th, 2023, and looking back, it's the device I use the most to game on, to be honest, even more than my consoles and my PS Portal. Yes, Mr. Joe in the Dark, even more than my PC with the 4070 rig on it. It's something that with that eGPU that I bought to accompany it, it's become kind of like I want to sit down after work and just sit back and kick my feet up. And if not, I undock it and I carry it around with me, go into the room or whatever the case may be. It's beautiful, man.
You know what, though? I've been thinking about all this that you're saying, right? And I've come to the realization of something.
What's that?
You are not doing it correctly, sir. You're doing it wrong.
What do you recommend? Well, what am I doing wrong?
PCMR is about sitting at your desk. It's about doing the crazy experiments and coming out with that interesting thing that you didn't see that you could possibly do before.
Says who?
Kicking back. Let me finish. You're not kicking back like a console peasant. No.
Oh, wait a minute. This whole, if you remember, where I threw the gauntlet down that I had enough was it was the Redfall moment. You remember that, right? Where they didn't have enough time to give us 60 FPS at launch, and I said, okay, no problem. I'm just gonna go buy a 4070 right now, because if you guys ain't gonna help me out, I'm gonna help myself out. But no. But here's the thing. I understand that you bought yourself a PC. You got your 4070. You're doing it right and all of that. But then now you're here speaking that PCMR talk. Well, basically what you're advocating for is a console-like life where you're taking your handheld device, hybrid, almost
grown man Steam Deck like, a grown man Abacus like.
But it's a PC.
Right? No, it's barely a PC.
It's
Get
a
out of here with that.
PC. It's a PC. I'm running emulators on that sucker. In fact, some of the games run better than they do on the consoles. Okay,
okay. Now he's throwing down the gauntlet.
I mean, you know, it's just the reality of the situation. But definitely my hardware of the year.
I'm giving you smack, man.
No, I know you are, brother. And it's definitely the hardware. To me, it's the hardware of the year. It's the one I've used the most. And honestly, like this future that we're living in, that today actually, because you know, I get a little spicy on Twitter every now and then. Okay. So really? Yeah. I don't know why. But I start having these conversations because I like, there's something that I enjoy doing, and that's pushing people's buttons, Kay. I really do. Okay, especially on Twitter. So I get a lot of pushback whenever I make a post about the non-missionary lifestyle or PS missionary gamers or whatever the case may be. And they get so offended. And all I'm trying to do is help our gaming community and say, why are you locking yourself down to one piece of hardware, one PC, one anything, one PS Portal, when if you can indulge in many, you know, aspects of gaming, you're all going to be better for it and appreciate it, that you can take your, you know, Starfield save from your PC to your Xbox to your handheld. And there's some people that I guess that they just, to them, they see that as a waste or something, and they don't appreciate it. They haven't reached that level of appreciation that like we have already. And I think that once you try it, it's very hard to go back, in my opinion.
I don't disagree. I definitely don't disagree. I agree with you that the handheld market has opened up a lot for people, right? And there are folks out there who never even had the opportunity, who never had a thought to try this market, and because of these handheld devices, they are now playing in this world, and they're really enjoying themselves, and it's working really well for them. So I do agree with you on that, 100%. So let's see. That yours is the yeah. I would imagine yours is the ally. Yes, I can imagine that.
Let me take it a step further. How about this? And Mr. Joanna Dark's not here to represent, but from everything I've seen, from all the shows we've had, from all the reviews I've seen, ROG Ally's the king this year, baby.
Here
we go. Come on, put him in the comments. What do you guys?
I disagree. I disagree with that. Well, you know what? Because look, to me, these devices, and this is me being absolutely real. We have back and forth, you know, we have fun talk all the time, but on the real, right? The reason why I think I will give credit to the Steam Deck, obviously, because Steam Deck kind of started it in the mainstream space, right? In the mainstream space, right?
Respect for
sure. Definitely did, right?
That was my foot into PC, thanks to the Steam Deck, and thanks to you.
And let's be clear, as soon as the Steam Deck OLED showed up, it basically transposed most other devices again. So it became the first device, and then it became the lagging device, and then as soon as they put the OLED on there, all of a sudden everybody threw their other devices away and went right back to the Steam Deck, right?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I think of it as if you remember back in the day, there's the radio hits, and then there's the stuff that you have to go find yourself in the music space, right? I would say the ROG Ally and the something like the Legion Go, those are the radio hits. Those are the ones that anybody who wants to pick up something at a store, you just pick it up and you got yourself a great device. And if you have a problem, you have Best Buy that got you back, right? That's what really drove them home. But let's be clear here. There are many a device out there that are cheaper and far more performant than these devices. And they were in the 2023 and onward, right? I, of course, did not advocate that anyone buy the one that I use, but I still think it's a better device than anyone else's device out there. And I will show that on the screen right now, which is
this is your hardware of the year, right? This has been your favorite.
This has been the hardware that I have used, and I too am an ROG Ally user. I like the ROG Ally, but for me, it was this because I have big hands, 8-inch screen, 65 watt-hour battery, so it lasts far longer.
That's amazing.
Yeah, this version actually has a full size SSD, not the small SSD, so you can actually put a proper SSD in it. It's got two USB-C ports, so one at the top, one at the bottom. You can charge one while using the other, right? Like it is the device. Hall sensor triggers, the whole thing. Uh, uh, Initially, it said it didn't have 75 mega transfers of RAM, but then they ended up bumping it up to 75 mega transfers. The one I have is 64 gigs, so it's like a monster. This thing is a monster, and it
does look really nice.
This is basically the retail version of the Legion Go. You want a big screen, you want something that will get you with better battery. I would say this is better than the Legion Go because the battery on this is even better than the Legion Go.
I agree with you there.
There you go. So this is what I have been using, and I still continue to use it, and I think it's great. And until they release a proper replacement device that outshines these devices, the 7000 series devices, this will probably be my device of choice that I'll continue to use until like a replacement shows up.
And let me ask you this:
software isn't great, but they're iterating on it. Yes.
Let me throw this curveball at you. Have you tried GeForce Now on this sucker?
I have tried GeForce Now on it. I've tried all the various streaming services. It's a Windows machine, so it runs all of it perfectly, right? It runs all of it perfectly. Now, I myself would not run GeForce Now on something like this because if I'm going to run GeForce Now, I want to run it on the lightest device possible. And this is not a light device. It's an 8-inch screen. It's a 65 watt hour battery. It's a big device. It's a thick device, right?
Okay.
Pause. It's not super heavy, but it's heavier than you want if you're running GeForce Now, because GeForce Now, you want a piece of paper that you're playing on if you're running GeForce Now, right? And this is not. So, so I have tried it, and it does definitely work on all of them. But I use this on local render. I've been like, for a quick example, I've been playing Forspoken and RoboCop on this. Those are my two games that I've recently been playing on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me. I'm sorry. I didn't. I thought you were going to say something else. So let me ask you this: for anybody that's on the fence, for next year, for 2024, let's say that AOK Zoe brings out a more powerful model, and they they heard you on the show, and they're like, hey, Kay recommends AOK Zoe, at least the A1 Pro. Let me look into this. Talk to us a little bit about the build of the device, because that's the thing that that's the thing that I would be a little bit scared of. That we understand that if you buy this, it's coming from China, and you need to, in my opinion, you need to be a power user if you're going this route, right?
100%. Yes.
But 100%. Talk to me about the build of it, compared to your Asus ROG Ally.
So I'll tell you, the Ally is well built, very well built. Lots of tech in a small space. So when you pick it up, it's thick. Pause. I will tell you, this device, because the Ally is packed so much in a small space, it feels heavier than this does, even though this is about the same size, same weight.
Wow.
Right? This has a lot more ergonomics. I have big hands. I'm not a small guy, and this is the best handheld I've ever held. It really is. It's as if they made a Switch for a grown ass man.
Nice.
That's literally what this is, right?
Well, one that actually runs higher than 480p. So that's
yes. This is actually, what is it, 1900p? It runs high frame rate. It can do very well. And you saw that. It says gyro support right there.
It didn't need an update.
It didn't need an update. It just has gyro support, just like that, out of nowhere. Awesome. Can you imagine?
Let me throw a curveball at you.
Let me answer your question directly.
Sure.
I would still not recommend anyone buy this.
Really?
As good as it is, yes, it is great. It is an awesome device. But one thing I have come to the realization of is, I will talk a little bit of a little side talk that'll help you understand what I mean, right? It's not just about the device; it's about the ecosystem, and I find that more and more the ecosystem matters more than anything else. Now, what do I mean by that? When it comes to these handhelds, I mean your Best Buy, I mean your support realm, the ability to easily go and, hey, the button's sticking, I need another one, and they replace it, right? That stuff tends to sometimes be a bit more important, a bit more like it's more valuable than eking out a little bit more performance. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Like when you're a normal user in a clutch, having the ability to just walk into a store to replace the thing you just bought is key. Okay. And the reason why I say it that way, so for those who know my other co-host, Mr. Everborn Saga, he and I we've been going back and forth for some time now, and he finally wore me down.
He's your main. I'm your side piece.
Stop it.
Get it right. Get it right.
Stop that ridiculousness. So he finally wore me down, and I eventually I'm basically waiting to collect my new Tesla Model 3, which I bought.
Nice.
And why did I eventually get worn down? Because I saw other electric vehicles that I thought were interesting. I saw other cars that I thought, hey, this might be interesting. But one thing that I hate to say it that he's right about is the ecosystem is second to none. Right? It's not just about the device, it's about everything around the device. When something breaks, when you need help, when you need something real quick. If you don't have a device that is supported by an ecosystem, you're all by yourself. And then you really must know what you're doing or you're screwed, right?
Understood.
And because of that, no matter how great these devices are, and they will always be like performant, right? Every time a new device comes out, these guys will put out something that's even better than the big guys. But at the end of the day, as long as their support arm has not gotten to your Asus level, I would say avoid them.
Yeah.
Right? Leave it to someone like me who will take the arrows for you so you don't have to.
I got you. So in other words, just if you do invest, just bring out the Trump in you, China. I got you. Okay.
Oh, stop it!
So,
Don't
what,
even do
man?
that. Come on,
China. All right. So let me throw.
Terrible. Don't ever do that again. That's terrible.
let me throw this curveball at you. Okay. So this is your hardware of the year. What would you say is your accessory of the year, like gaming wise? What has been your go-to this year? Whatever it could be, whatever it is, a controller, a dock, anything.
That is a very interesting question. My accessory of the year. You know, that's weird. I would say, you know what? And that's a bit of a cheat, but I would say the Quest 3.
Oh,
it's a platform. It is a platform, but it's kind of like my accessory of the year, if you will. I've been using it to play a bunch of VR games. Like and for me, I know that everybody sees the Quest as a standalone device. To me, as a standalone device, the Quest is mediocre at best. Just in general, because it uses mobile chipsets and whatnot. But like when you connect it to a big PC, the stuff it can do is magical. So I always connect it to my machine. So for me, it's an accessory to my PC. So like I think the Quest 3 is like really performant. Like it's game changing. The AR aspects of it and stuff like that. I'm nice. really enjoying it. Using with the kids, been really having a good time with it.
Okay. For me, it's the Steel Series 7 series, is it something like that? Headsets. I literally have two of them. I have one for the living room setup over there in white, and I have one here for the PC. And the struggle that I went through of trying to find a good wireless solution for my audio. I kept on having interference. I kept on having drops. And it was driving me crazy because if there's one thing that I'm really picky about is that I'm in the middle of a game and the audio drops, or I'm listening, to a game or someone talking and I can't, something happens. I lose the immersion. Okay. So audio to me is key, even more than lighting, even more than anything. And yeah, that's been my accessory of the year because these things are a godsend, and I will fully invest in Steel Series as long as this technology keeps on going, because they don't interfere with anything else. So it's very, very nice, man.
Since you mentioned Steel Series, I guess I'll give you a bonus tip there. So Steel Series has been working on some software that is very weird. Like, I don't know how to describe it. So You don't really need the Steel Series Steel Series hardware to use it, but I was introduced to it using Steel Series hardware. It's called the Steel Series GG. Every single one of these pieces of hardware, they all come with their own like customizable software to customize this, customize that,
I think I
parts
have
of your
it
keyboard, things like
actually.
that, right? Yeah, they if you have a Steel Series device, it tends to come pre-installed, or it wants to install itself with with that hardware. The thing that's interesting, the reason why I bring it up, and not because of the stuff it does, but for podcasters, right? Odd pro tip for those around here like us who do what we do, or who aspire to do what we do. Maybe you don't have the bandwidth, or you don't have the monetary cha-ching to buy a really hardcore audio setup, or a mic that really works well. This software is unusually good. It's called Sonar. I don't know if you've used it. You should use it. If you don't use it, it's called Sonar.
I do have it. Yeah, I have it.
It is so good. Specifically the noise cancellation, the AI noise cancellation part of it. Any ridiculous sad microphone can be made to sound clean. You can have and I'm telling you, as I speak to you right now, I use this software, and that's the reason why a standing air conditioner, which is blowing really loud at 60, like really loud noise right next to me, and you don't hear a sound because of this software. And it's free. Anyone can use it. It's very cool. You can turn any mic into quality. You can clean it up. It's made for the purposes of if you're gaming on a PC. You can switch between chat mic and write music and game audio. But it's got a lot of very interesting, cool software on top that, for podcasting purposes, seem to be super useful, and it's free. So
that's cool. That's a really good tip, man, for anybody out there, because I know that when I started, like, I first went on Boom Show, I literally had an Astro headset that if you go back and you watch that episode, I was the only one on camera, because I thought that everybody was going to have a camera, and not even Boom was using cameras back then, right? And I literally looked like if I had like this helmet on my head, and even Boom is like, "Hey dude, what is that? What are you wearing?" And I'm like, "This is my headset." And it was blue and gray. It was awesome, man. So we've come a long way, Kay. We've come a long way.
There you go. Right. So for anybody, and obviously, if you have the resources for it, hardware is always better than software. Hardware is always a better option than software. But if you have software, if you have a PC that has some overhead, you want to start your podcasting situation, you don't want to invest in too much hardware, download this software. It'll make you sound cleaner. It's pretty good.
Nice.
So there's that.
Okay, I got one more question for you.
What you got?
One more question for you. For 2024, are you looking to upgrade your PC at all, sir? At all, with more memory, with more
honestly,
with more storage, anything like that?
This year, 2024, I will not be upgrading my current PC, because my current PC is a monster of a machine. Like it is a beast of epic proportions. I don't even think I saved any room to grow. Well, yes, I did. I could add 64 more gigs, and then I have 128 gigs. That's about it. That's as far.
I mean, you're so close. Why stop now?
No.
That's like hitting a ball in baseball and running all three bases, and then just stopping before you make it home. What are you doing?
Look, I want to get to a point where at some point I see it's debilitated, like its issues, right? I want to see that, okay, now I've reached I can feel the edge of its capabilities. Then I might throw some RAM in there, extra RAM in there, and at that point I might even upgrade the CPU. But needless to say, this machine has enough capacity. What I most likely will do next year or 2024 will be focused on the home server. My home server is I have 18 terabyte home server underneath my desk here, and it's almost I think it hit 100% capacity yesterday. So I will be doing that. I'll be probably using TrueNAS for those who know. I'll be using TrueNAS to build a new home server. So that's probably a project that you'll catch me talking about on this era at some point.
That's awesome. For me, I'm maybe a CPU bump because I'm
Okay.
currently at an i7, and I don't know. I've been reading and watching a couple of videos how the performance can go up depending on the CPU and GPU combination that you have. But it also, that's a whole new different thing that I would be getting into, because I don't want to waste my money for like a 5% bump. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you
Mm-hmm.
tell me I'm gonna get maybe like a 20 to 30% bump, okay, depending on how much it is, I might. But again, I have so much homework to do in that space that I've only begun to even think about that. You know?
Absolutely, absolutely. Ooh, a quick thing I wanted to ask you. I know you were playing around in the waters of controller overclocking.
Yes.
So it's super interesting, as I'm sure some of you guys are here as well. I'm part of the Xbox Insider program, and guess what questions they asked on the Insider program a day or two ago?
What's
How
that?
would you feel about overclocking features on your Elite controller?
Oh, so you can cheat and kill the competition? Not just playing. It's that's awesome, dude. If they gave that,
They're talking about it.
wow, that's huge, man. The only thing that I can think of to make it from a competitive edge, right, Kay, so that they don't basically give people an advantage for like Call of Duty, is that I'm
Mhm.
thinking that maybe if the controller is hardwired, you might go down in those milliseconds that that overclocking tries to achieve. So if they do that, that's pretty cool of them to even be talking about
They
that, to
asked
be
the
honest with you.
question, and I was surprised to see that. I was like, wow, really? In the console space, they're talking about overclocking controllers. I'm like, wow, that is
Yeah,
super interesting.
yeah, and Kirby Louise is asking overclock for what? Kirby Louise, I thought it was a gimmick at first, to be honest with you, and I started looking at it and looking at into like videos and stuff. And there's a dude that he reviews controllers of the Yin Yang. He has over hundreds of videos on his YouTube channel. I think his name is Gamers Heaven or something like that. You can look him up. He actually has like a guide and a tutorial on how to overclock your controller. And I thought it was a gimmick at first, but no, it really does make a difference, especially in competitive shooters. If you're just playing a story game like Spider-Man or something, you're not going to really tell. But in the competitive shooters, for some reason, you do have a slight 0.1 second advantage over someone that doesn't have, that is just playing with the generic proprietary wireless connection to the console or to Bluetooth.
Mhm.
And it's that second matters, especially in that split second matters, especially in a competitive setting.
See, if I ever find myself in a game where those split seconds matter, I want to jump out of a window and like flash my own like
No,
no,
man.
no. I'm too
You gotta
sweaty at that point.
no,
You know,
no. You gotta
at that
you
point,
gotta let
at
that
that point,
African heat come out, man. When they
I'm
kill you, you gotta go,
far.
damn it. You have to just be
If I ever get
Bruh.
that far, I'm far too sweaty, too sweaty. No, we're not doing that.
Okay. No,
I
we're
like my
gonna do
beginning,
it.
middles, and ends.
No, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and I'm throwing a challenge to yourself. Okay,
Oh
I'm gonna throw a
no,
challenge to you in
no.
2024.
What are we doing?
Okay,
What are we doing?
I heard. Don't think I didn't
Mhm.
hear the slander that you were giving Halo this past weekend. You and Everborn. Okay,
Bro,
the
Halo is
slander.
dead. Stop
Okay.
talking. Halo is
Okay,
dead. To me,
I'm gonna
it is
stop
dead.
you. Let me stop you for a second. Okay,
Dead.
because
It's not
let-
a hero shooter. It's
let me
not any of
stop
that
you.
crap.
Let me
Go
stop
ahead.
you before everybody in the chat leaves. Okay, from day one, the
Uh-huh.
thing that has made Halo special, especially to Xbox gamers that will understand this, and you will understand this, is the combination of single player and multiplayer, that they're both so good since
I
the
get
first
it.
Halo. Okay,
Yes.
so for you to say that Halo is dead,
No.
that is
No.
inaccurate, sir.
But
Inaccurate.
look, listen to what you're doing there, right? You're talking about the righteous talk, which is that it has been both the single player and the multiplayer. And then what do? You forget that they've left the single player by the wayside.
But
Right?
hold on. And I don't mean to interrupt you, but hold on a second.
No. We heard ourselves recently from the man Paris Lilly himself, who interviewed one of the heads of 343, and there's no plan of attack to even address the single player side of the house. So even to your point, John Wolf, right? To your point of, hey, what made Halo special is the combination of both. They have left one by the wayside, and they're going full bore in the other direction. And because hero shooters, because Apex Legends exists, I will never get my Titanfall 3. And because Halo multiplayer exists, I'm no longer getting Halo campaigns. And
this is all I'm going to tell you. Right. This is all I'm going to tell you. What did Chief say in Halo Infinite? The missions change. Yeah. They always do,
and
right?
He never finishes the damn
fight. How you like that?
No, because 343 never wants to finish a damn story. I get it.
Listen, let's understand something, okay? This is the way I'm gonna turn a negative into a positive for you, because I see that you're a little bit. Hold on.
No.
But hold on. You're a little bit. You're a little bit down on the franchise, and you have the right to do so. But I'm gonna try to spin a positive for you to get excited to invest.
My brother Marshy, what's going on, brother?
That's awesome. I want you invested in the Halo Infinite multiplayer, sir. Okay, and I want you to see, because that tight gameplay that you loved in that single player carries over so well in the multiplayer. Okay, you don't want to deck out your Spartan.
No, you know what I want? Do you know what I want? I want a compelling story that compels me to continue that compels me to want to finish that fight after finishing that amazing, harrowing first person story, which I will not get now from them.
Let me ask you this.
I'm sorry. There is no changing my mind on this.
Let me ask you this.
Halo to me is and let me be clear. If you check the Halo Museum, if you check the Xbox Museum, I have more time played in Halo Master Chief than any other game, and 9 times out of 10 that is single player. I have played the Halo Master Chief Collection single player through the entire story at least 20 times, at least. Okay? I am about that single player life. I appreciate those who have the multiplayer side of the house. I got no issues with you. I think it's great that y'all can keep playing the same thing over and over and over and over. That's awesome, cool. But I like my single player, and the fact that they made the choice, because and this is where I'm going to stand on my square, and I'll let you speak, okay? And Everborn said this, and I'm going to co-opt his words. We knew that when Infinite came out, what did we know? We knew that the single player was great. No one had a problem with the single player. The reviews were glowing. What ended up ruining it was the multiplayer. Wasn't the single player, right? Everyone said, oh, we should have gotten more meat on the bones, but people appreciated the single player, right? So then what did they do? They kill all the people who made the single player in favor of what was broken in the first place, which is the multiplayer. How the hell do you do that? You don't fire the campaign people because the campaign was trash. The campaign was what was good.
I'm gonna give you some hope.
They fire all the campaign people.
But
Please,
I'm gonna give you some hope. From everything that we've seen since Pierre was assigned to be the man, have we not seen a positive turnaround? We have, right? In that multiplayer space.
No, but hold on. I don't care about that space.
I understand, but hold on, because let me get to it. Let's trust Pierre that if he's done so well, this is all I'm saying. Before we count them out, let's just give Pierre a chance to not only turn around the multiplayer like he has in Halo Infinite, that there's a resurgence and it's back in a big way. Let's trust also that if the decision came from him being the head honcho to say, we're not going to continue down this path, it's going to be worth it at the end. Because even though I agree with you, and I really liked Halo Infinite's campaign, but it's not better than Halo 4's. And here we go. Here's a little controversy for everybody in the chat. I kind of like Halo 5 a little bit better too. And I know that's not that's
I don't
okay.
agree with you on that one. Yeah.
And that's all subjective, that all subjective stuff that we're talking about, different likes in a game. But the bottom line is that I do think that the direction of Halo in where it was heading down this 10-year plan, 10-year roadmap, while it sounded awesome to Halo fans like myself and yourself, I just think that Pierre needed to bring it back and say, let's reel it back, and let's do what we do
right now. You know what you're doing right now, which I hear you, but I don't appreciate it. You know what you're doing right now?
What's that?
Because because what's there is still playable by you. You're saying let them cook. To me, I ain't eating right now. There's no food for me.
Have you got an all Spartan course? The rest of you, have you got an all Spartan course? Yes or no?
This is my point. You see, this is my point. I have no interest in any of that because it's not a single player campaign. Okay. I'm sorry.
And you're fair and that's okay. I'm just trying to I'm trying to get you to open up your multiplayer wings with
it. Is dead, ladies and gentlemen. Dead.
It's dead because you want it to be dead, but it's not roadkill that it's just laying on the side. It's literally hopping on the side there, and you're just choosing not to indulge in it.
It's dead. I'm sorry. Y'all come back to me when it comes back to life. When Master Chief is allowed to once again speak. When we have what's his name? When we have what do you call it? What's his name again? The dude who does his voice.
Steve.
That's such
Steve
a
Downs?
great job. Steve Downs. When Steve is allowed to get back on the mic and speak again. When he's allowed to finish the damn fight for once. How many Halo stories?
They got the Mark 1 in the multiplayer, man. Come on.
In the multiplayer.
Jump in, baby.
You see, this is why I hate Overwatch. This is why I hate Apex Legends. Because of that, all they get to do is give you lore, and you just keep like being a hamster in the wheel forever. Right? That's all they do is give you lore, and you're a hamster in the wheel. You just keep spinning, right?
Lucius, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
They don't have to give you story, a beginning, a middle, and end that matters to you. No, they just they pepper lore in the universe, and then all of a sudden you're a hamster and you're just running around the wheel. Anyway, see, now you got me all slanderous on our last show.
That's all right, man. You're good, brother.
You know what we should do? Let's throw in some of this footage of some of the stuff we saw at the Game Awards. I want to look at some of the video footage because I gave Everborn Saga his time. I think I need to give you your time. Sure. We all know what's about to happen. We all know it. Yes, I get it. Go ahead, sir. Talk to me about that Sega stuff. Talk to me about the Sega stuff. That's what you want to talk about. Talk to me about the Sega stuff.
That was a big moment. That was a big moment because let me tell you something that Sega did with one trailer. They gave the nostalgic feel that Nintendo's so good at, that we've talked about so many times. And they gave hope in what was. Like, you could really tell. Hopium, exactly. Which is what I was trying to give you with Halo, but we're not going to go there again.
No, we ain't going there.
So let me tell you, man, what a great commercial, trailer, commercial, whatever you want to call it. They not only did they announce one game, they ended up announcing 5 and even more than that, because in the bottom you saw that it said and more. That are currently in production. Shinobi, bro. Like when I saw this, like I this made me jump. There was 2 announcements that made me jump out of bed. I was laying down with my wife. It was this one, okay, and it was obviously Blade. All right, those 2 announcements really made me jump out of my seat. And what a way to say. Like I'm
floored by Golden Axe, bro. Golden Axe looks insane. Oh my god!
Like this has Dreamcast energy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This has Sega Saturn energy to it. And this was nice, man. This was really nice. Let me tell you.
My man Marshy's in the chat saying, "See." He's a real gamer. He was laying with his wife. He had to jump out of his.
Hey, it was we were just watching the Game Awards. It wasn't anything else, or else there wouldn't have
Sure.
been any jumping off the bed. You know what I'm saying? But still,
Hey, calm down now. Calm
I'm
down.
just saying, non-missionary household here. So
Hey, you need to calm down. What are you doing?
in gaming and in all aspects, okay.
Oh, you're
So
terrible. You're
so
terrible.
this was awesome,
Uh-huh.
Kay, and I know that Everborn for sure. We were in our
Wow. Marcy says put the joystick away. Damn, that is crazy. The innuendos are ridiculous. Wow. What are you doing?
So I know that Everborn and everybody was excited, you know, in our private DM, and again, man, big ups to Sega for doing this, and now it's up to us to pay it back to them and support these games when they come out, man, because this is huge that they're doing this.
I gotta tell you, right? For me, what really bowled over for me, like the show was just like, and you know, obviously we Blade and all these other great announcements, but for me, nothing else. Like just from a visual, like holy effing crap, it was Moon Studios.
Yes.
This was just like, holy wow, these guys know what they're doing.
This is a special studio, man.
Holy crap. You know, and I will say, right, you see this is it has the PlayStation logo on it or whatever, but what happened, you saw quickly they were in the on the Xbox wire throwing so much flowers at Xbox and so much flowers at Game Pass, talking about because of the Game Pass and Xbox is what got them to where they are now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see this come back to Game Pass. I really wouldn't be. They would most likely be partnered again, but man, these guys know what they're doing.
Don't tell the community. Just don't tell the community manager that, because he likes saying that it's a trash. Xbox is trash or something like that. Did you see some of that?
Yeah,
that
of
was
course,
interesting.
Yes. Yeah,
so
foot and mouth disease he has, but you know,
yeah.
But the game is amazing looking.
Let me tell you something that Moon Studios does almost better than anybody right now in the industry. Their trailers set the mood for what their game is all about. There's no false advertising here. Ori, from the moment that trailer, I remember the very first time that Ori, that the trailer played, like you get emotional, you know, and they really know like how to drive emotion with their trailers, and it's their art style. Their art style is very unique. You could tell that they really put a lot of passion behind their work, and if it's just a shame that so much BS is coming out of that studio and bad news is coming out of that studio, because this is one that I definitely think Xbox should have picked up a long time ago. But I think that the powers that be there are just not pleasant people to work with, you know. But
yeah, I think the ship has sailed, so to speak, on them buying Moon Studios. But they don't need to buy Moon Studios, right?
You're right.
You can still have a good relationship with them as you do, and they'll still produce amazing games, and you'll get access to it, right?
Yeah.
Like this, right?
Absolutely.
So I think it's fine. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, they just know how to do it, man. They have a vision that's just outstanding, man. It's outstanding. I don't know how the hell they did that.
It stands out because here's another thing that let me give a quick critique to the Game Awards and to all the men and women that are working hard on these games. And by no means am I going to say this to diminish their work and my excitement for these games coming, right? But my wife told me something very interesting while she watched the show with me, and my wife is not a gamer at all. Okay. She saw me excited for games, and I was like, you know, writing down several games and stuff that interest me or whatever. But something she told me, like when she told me, it kind of like made me say, you're right. All of a sudden, and this happens a lot in the gaming industry, the games start looking samey. So she's like, oh, look, another game in space. Oh, look, another thing in space. Oh, look, he's wearing another spacesuit. And I did notice that all of a sudden now, like there's this thing that every single, you know, not every single developer, but many developers and publishers are pushing for this space-like adventure game. And did you notice that at all at the Game Awards, that it started getting a little samey for some of the games?
So I don't think it's really a game on that one. While I agree with you, I don't think it's a Game Awards problem necessarily. It's 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 a good thing for the Game Awards to notice that, for you to notice that at the Game Awards, because that tells you that they're on the cusp of the gaming industry. Because think about it. Remember when the remake of Dead Space came out? It was the same time as Callisto Protocol, and I think something else. And it was one dead zombie space game after another dead zombie space game after another dead zombie. There were like 15 of them on display, right?
Yeah.
One after another after. But that's not the Game Awards' fault. It's the Game Awards being the arbiter of gaming, and as such, when the rules change, all of a sudden everybody adapts, and the Game Awards catches that, right? So, like for example, right now, look at Baldur's Gate 3 cleaning up, right? I bet there will be a time in the next 3-4 years where you see everyone and their grandmother making a Baldur's Gate 3 kind of a CRPG style game, right? And if you're watching a Game Awards or you're watching a Summer Game Fest or something like that, it'll be one after another. That's how it happens, because they all tend to reach their marketing timeline at the same time, when they all go, "Ooh, Starfield was good. We'll do something like that in the next 3-4 years." You know what I'm saying? They all end up hitting that same time frame, and then the same idea keeps coming out. It used to happen with zombie games. Remember? It used to happen with Dead Island and
oversaturation, right? Like
exactly of the same idea over and over and over and over again. So while I do agree that is a symptom of this industry, it's
wait a minute, go up. Isn't that PlayStation exclusive game, Pony Island? Oh, no, my bad.
Stop.
I thought that was a PS5 exclusive. My
yeah, these people. See, I had to hit it with the bruh. What are you doing, man?
Bruh.
Yeah, okay. Highly ridiculous and unnecessary. Moving swiftly along, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let's see. So there were some that came out that
looked awesome.
Which one? This one?
Yes, that looked really good too. That
and this is the Finji one, right? Finji, yeah. This is the same publisher that released the development team that did what do you call it? Darn it, little cute fox that came out on Xbox. Oh, it's a really cool game.
You're talking about the one that's like a Zelda, like the Zelda clone?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm also released by Finji.
I'm not good with games, but I know what you're referring to. So that looked really.
There you go, Tunic.
Yeah,
there you
Tunic.
Go. Perfect. Yes.
So this right here looked really good. Kay, again, that art style, it really it's really popping, and it's a very interesting and unique take on the type of game that it is, because it looks like it's gonna be just like look at this gameplay right here. So it's the colors are what get me about the game. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the art palette that they decided to go with, it looks cool, man. Look at that combat here. I'm down.
I don't disagree, and it has this comic book kind of stop motion aesthetic a little bit. It's really, really interesting what they've done. It's like she goes into their pages and does battle with her own drawings. It's really cool, like super interesting idea. And of course, you have the bubbles. It's evoking a lot of comic book kind of sensibilities, and I think it's really cool. I'm looking forward to checking it out. So yes. Can we agree that more than most, and this was super interesting. Basically, a musical about a deaf girl.
This was interesting.
Yeah, like how they express that. It's just super interesting how they express it. Can we agree that more than most years, this was a year where you can see, quote unquote, like I would always say that the Keelys and Keeley shows tends to get runoff content from other events, right? Oh, well, we're doing our big show, so we'll just kind of give Keeley this. Oh, well, we're doing this big show, so we'll just throw kind of Keeley that, right?
Yeah.
But this show seemed like all the those who brought something brought their A game. It wasn't like runoff content.
I agree. And Keeley, I think more than any other year, even though I'm not a big fan of Keeley, to be honest with you, and kind of like the way that he does things, I think he can improve in so many ways. this year he was the front runner for having the biggest shows of the year. You know, besides obviously the showcases that each platform holder had. He did have the biggest shows of the year with the Summer Games Fest. He had some good stuff there. And again, I don't think he disappointed with the Game Awards. And he represented gaming very, very well for a lot of a lot of these publishers.
Let's be clear. He represented trailers and ads very well. For a lot of these publishers,
that's true.
Right?
That's true. This is awesome too.
This blew me away.
Yep.
At first, I wasn't paying attention. I'm like, it's all right. Another one of these cool little weird monster art style things. Yeah, okay. You know, kids cartoony things. And then out of nowhere, they just start cutting people in half.
Yeah, it was super trippy. And then, you know, no pun intended, but I think it blew us both away because we were expecting. This is from Dead Cells, right? From that. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go. And you could tell that the loop in it's gonna be. This is another genre, okay, where I see repetitiveness in this roguelike. You know what I'm saying? Genre, and it's getting a little bit oversaturated in my opinion. But you could tell that this is in that same fashion of Hades, where it looks addictive, dude. And I think that this is going to be one of those games that if you jump on a co-op experience, it's gonna be very addictive. It looks that way.
I don't disagree, and I mean, I hear you on the roguelike genre being getting a little repetitive. But these guys kind of made their mark on it. I mean, like Dead Cells kind of rejuvenated it. Even though I'll say Rogue Legacy was there before they were, I will say that. But Dead Cells really put a stamp on it and really, really put some skin in the game. So they're just kind of coming back with what they know, you know.
I agree with Grumpy as well. Grumpy Shaman, thank you for being here. You're always here, brother. We really appreciate you. Like the Souls games, exactly, man. Like, I like if there's one thing that there was a game that maybe we'll run into it that it had like kind of like a black and white art style to it, where the blood was the only thing that had color. And I was excited about the game because I thought it was going to be a Devil May Cry like game, and it ended up being yet another Souls game. And it's like, guys, like, come on. Like, how many of these Souls games are we going to have? And the reason I say that is because I suck at Souls games. The only game I've ever beaten has been Demon Souls. I never even beat Elden Ring. I'm a fraud. But it's not my preferred game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, hey, mine neither. Although I like Metroidvanias. I like these platformers. I'm usually not the type of person that likes these kind of bombastic, seemingly games, right? Seemingly bombastic, seemingly has this huge. It evokes your Mass Effect style stuff. It never ends up being Mass Effect for me, but this looked amazing. I was just like, yo, this. You know, I'm waiting for Mass Effect again to come and take it away, and I know that they never will. This might actually be the one. This looks amazing.
I'm gonna get in trouble with my Xbox friends here. Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
The art style in this game, I prefer it, and I think it looks more interesting than Starfield.
Well, okay, stop talking smack, because what you're seeing right now are CG trailers, right? You don't know what it will play like.
That you're right, but they do show gameplay. If I remember correctly,
they do show gameplay at the last bit.
And the art style, just hear me out. The art style that they're going for, to me, because Bethesda likes to go with a more realistic type. You need
to pump your brakes, sir, because you don't know. See, okay. I hear what you're
saying, brother. Don't compare
it just because you see a spacesuit to spacesuit. You don't know if this has all that content in it that Starfield has, or if this is a linear beginning, middle, and end type of thing.
Hold on.
Be clear. Hold on.
But this conversation is heading towards an avenue that I was not heading. But go ahead.
All I want to say is, you can't compare even similar art styles or similar genres, because the amount of content you put in it also makes a determination, right? If you're comparing a thing with an actual like main story versus something like Starfield, which is really huge in its scope.
Stop it right here. Stop it right here.
There. Yeah, there you go.
Stop
there
it
you
right
go.
here.
See, look.
Okay.
Look.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
all
This
I'm
looks
saying.
like from that art style, from that right there, which is gameplay, it looks more like Mass Effect than it does Starfield.
I don't disagree with you, but however,
and in that respect, they have a lot more they can throw at graphics and all that in something like a Mass Effect than you can in something like Starfield, which has ridiculous systems and huge worlds and all of that. I don't think you get the same level of substance that you get in Starfield. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair. The only thing that I'm saying, and again, you know that these types of conversations.
And by the way, this is captured on PS5. This is what it says in the small print there.
You know that
captured on PS5. Yeah.
These types of conversations always lead to you need to stand on one side of the fence. BS. I can stand in the middle. I love Starfield. What do you mean? I love Starfield. I love the way Starfield looks. This looks cooler, in my opinion. Like the art style.
I'm not saying that you can't have a problem or you can or cannot like Starfield. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that technically, this is an unfair comparison, right? That's all I'm saying, because you don't know if this has the full like universe scope as Starfield does, right? And that scope makes a difference in what it looks like, right? The bigger the scope.
But no, I don't agree with you, and I'm going to tell you why. The reason that I don't agree with you is because I'm looking at it from a conversation, just the art style of the game. That's all. Not that it's a sci-fi game, not that it's, that you're going to be exploring worlds, not that it's over the shoulder.
Explain what you mean by art style.
Just this stylized, and I think Grumpy says it well here, that he prefers also a stylized type of art style. To me, this is like stylized in the way that, like, for example, Starfield is not. Starfield was going for a very grounded look. Starfield wanted, in my opinion, Todd Howard wanted you to feel like if those weapons, like if everything in that game can be done in real life. This doesn't look like it's going for that. This looks like it's completely something, that is just
it's going straight Mass Effect style, like
exactly
otherworldly.
Exactly. And to me, I prefer this style. I rather look at this style for hundreds of hours than
I get that.
Starfield, the graphics.
Then you and I are having two different conversations, and that's fine. Yeah. See, the reason why I say what I say is because people will quickly go, "Oh, this looks so much cooler than Starfield ever did," right?
No, not overall, not as a game, not gameplay. Obviously, I don't know what the game is, so that's not the comparison that I'm making.
Even like the thing of like detailed texture, like you see all the details and textures here, that can happen because they can spend a lot of resources on that, right? Versus where Starfield has so much more in scope and scale that these small teeny tiny details get missed because of it's like missing the forest for the trees, right? They're looking at like a forest, and when you're looking at a forest, you can't design a tree to that detailed level. But if you're not looking at a forest and you're looking at some shrubs, then every tree can be super detailed. You understand what I'm saying? That's basically the analogy I'm giving you here.
No, and that's okay.
Because Starfield is trying to go for a vast forest, some of the trees will be light on detail.
I get that, and that's fair. It's just it's not comparing. Again, it's not. This conversation kind of leaded somewhere that I was not heading.
Yeah. No, I expect
not that. Not that Starfield is not. It's not that this looks better than Starfield the game. I'm simply talking about the art style.
The art style. Okay.
Like I'll put it to you like this. Like the other comparison I can give you is like a game like, let's say, take a game like Darksiders. You know how it has a very comic booky art style. I prefer that than Skyrim. I can play in a world stylized like that for hundreds and hundreds of hours and not get bored
Sure.
like I would looking at what
Looking
I
at
consider
the Skyrim, yeah,
to be
on
more
that I agree with you.
realistic and blander. I just feel
Yeah,
it's
I agree with
blander.
you.
Like
Yeah,
this.
I'm not a shields and swords kind of guy. I like my fantasy more fantastical. I agree with you. Yes, the realer you make it, the less interested I am, because realism is boring. I want fantastic.
There you go, which is actually why I'm actually excited about the Blade game, that it's not going for a realistic look. At least that's what they're saying. I'm actually excited
going for more
about that.
comic book style. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And this looks amazing. I can't wait. I cannot wait to play this game. It looks so
next
good.
Month. Yeah, this looks good.
Yeah. And as you can see, it's going to be pain in the butt to go through all these things. I remember going through a lot of these.
Oh yeah.
I've loved Prince of Persia. I am one of those guys who secretly hates Assassin's Creed because it was so popular that they dropped Prince of Persia. Like I really wish that Prince of Persia would come back and get the respect it deserves, and hopefully with this one it does. Then of course we saw this guy.
This was the best trailer of the whole thing for me, because wow, like the fact, not that I thought or I think you thought that Ninja Theory wasn't going to deliver on that first teaser that they did. Okay, this is delivering and then some. Like this looks.
So here's my question to you.
Sure.
Some people have been questioning the fact that, hey, you know, we expected to see far more combat, or we wanted to see, you know, some real, like, bigger, broader scale. Why does it still look like it's 1v1? How does that grab you? How do you feel about that?
I think that the problem is that we as a community have had so much talks around this game being the God of War game for Xbox, that I think a lot of us forgot that this is a Hellblade game, and a Hellblade game is more focused on obviously the cinematics of the game and the moment to moment of the game, and it's not God of War in the actiony like type of gameplay here. I think that we're gonna get, from at least what they're showing here, I think that we're gonna get something closer to Rise than we are God of War, to be honest with you. Now that I'm just judging that on what I'm seeing here on this new trailer, and obviously from playing the first Hellblade, where it was more of a one-on-one fight. You know, I don't think that Ninja Theory said we're going to compete with God of War. I don't think that that's what they were going for, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them for that. I think that they need to stick to their guns, and they need to make the game that they want to make.
So while I agree with you that no one has made comparisons to God of War, right? I've heard God of War comparisons from others, but not from them, right? While I agree with you on that, I will say, let us not be quick to assume that what you see here is all you're going to get.
I agree.
Right? I agree. I would say keep an eye out, because yes, you're seeing what you're seeing now, but what they're showing you now is a cleaner, far better version of what you've seen before from them, right? I expected that you're going to see a lot more than just a cleaner version of what you've seen from them. It might get more. I expect more, right?
Yeah.
So it should be interesting.
They had, I know that they had the actress train, you know, in real combat with the swords and stuff like that. So expect triple or quadruple the animations. You know what I'm saying? The
choreographer was the same choreographer that did Rogue One, Star Wars story. Like he's the choreographer there, right? So yes, she trained with the people who train Star Wars actors how to do it. So, you know, and they trained the entire crew, both her and the entire crew, so that they would understand how it feels to really throw a punch and this and that. And oh, by the way, her husband is an MMA fighter, so they train every day. Like, this is an emphasis on combat, right? It's very interesting. They haven't shown you the combat, but there's a heavy emphasis on combat. So we shall see. You know what I mean? I'm expecting very interesting things from this game when it comes to combat.
Let them cook.
Sure. Let's move forward and talk about this one. Kamuri, have you seen this? Interesting.
I saw this.
By a person who left Tango Gameworks.
Yeah.
right? This
Yeah.
is an ex-Microsoft employee making her game, her debut, making her own game. Like, it's just dripping with style and no substance right now. Right?
Yep.
It's just
I
style
like
over
I like the
swagger all over the place.
I love the style. I love the look. I will not be playing this.
Hey
Because
man,
this looks like it's going to be one of those I don't know. Okay, this is going to be gas for sure, right? I mean, it smells like
I don't
gas to
know.
me.
Might smell like gas. That's true. That's true.
Mm.
And you can stop me. I'm skipping through all the ones that I didn't, that either I thought was interesting and moved on. It didn't do much for me.
What'd you think of this right here? What'd you think?
Rise of the Ronin looked like a downgrade, oddly enough.
I agree with you 100%. Where I was pleasantly surprised by Hellblade 2.
Yeah.
I was kind of let down by Rise of the Ronin. You're not. I think
When they
in fact,
first showed both of them off, there was Rise of the Ronin and there was Wolong, and there was talk that, hey, Rise of the Ronin looked better than Wolong did.
no.
Now it
Wolong.
looks exactly the same.
To
like,
me, Wolong
this looks
better.
like Wolong graphics. It looks the same now. Well, to me, like initially, Rise of the Ronin looked way more cinematic and cooler than than Wolong did. Now it looks like they're the same. Like, same style.
Team Ninja, look, they make great games, but again, we're Team Ninja. They have a pedigree for making action games that are very, I guess you can say, special in their own way. And I need them to kind of just give us one in the Ninja Gaiden, formula. Like, enough with the souls, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, is this giving you a Ninja Gaiden vibes or Dark Souls vibe?
It's more what is it? Neo vibes, which is what they had before. See, I would argue that the what do you call it? The Ninja Gaiden was the pre-Souls, right? It was the first hard as nail game before Souls came in and defined the genre. So now they're trying to repeat the genre. They're trying to recreate the genre that they owned for way back in the day.
Pixel Slapper.
What do you think of this?
I'm gonna get to this real fast, but let me comment on here. Pixel Slapper. Yeah. I've never seen Pixel Slapper in our chat before, but welcome. Yeah, man. I mean, we're all fake gamers here. We're on a show talking about games, an award show. We're all fake gamers here, and everybody in the chat, just listening. But what's up, man? This is very interesting, and I'm going to tell you why. The tech demo of these heads that they showed, we don't know if this was real footage. I really doubt it. I think that Kojima, when he does things, he does it for a reason. So if he showed this off, I want to believe that this is using some assets of the game. But let's just cut right to the chase. My favorite horror game of all time was PT the demo. That is the scariest game I have ever played. And the reason,
it's not really a game.
Well, yes. the playable teaser, right? Yes, the reason was not because, I jumped in, I got scared of the ghost or whatever the case may be. No, it's not that. The eeriness of the game, the sound design of the game, the fact that, like, you hear on the radio, you can hear like there was a murder, and it had like this sense of kind of like realism and grittiness to it, right? And it was just a mind f. Okay, that's what the game was, and I really do think that this is going to be Kojima's breakout PT game. He has a blank check.
You're threading a needle that doesn't need to be thread. Like, he walked literally out of the PT door, and then the game that was called Overdose is now being shortened to OD. Come on. He's literally pointing to you. Ooh, couldn't make the PT game. Here's OD. Like, he's literally, like, he's making, that's what he's doing right now.
No,
right?
But there's people that will tell you on Twitter that he's not. This is not PT because they're so butthurt that he's finally going to get to make his PT. Now, let's take it a step further. Okay. Because with PT, and this is why things happen for a reason, guys. Sometimes we get disappointed, but ultimately there's a better plan down the line. That's why you can never, get down in life. And let me tell you something. Not only is he for PT, he was going to work with Guillermo del Toro, which was going to be phenomenal. I know that was going to be a piece of art that was going to be timeless. But now he's going to get to work with Jordan Peele and what he's calling the Avengers. Okay, so does he bring back Guillermo del Toro? Is he one of the Avengers?
Let me tell you. Well, stop asking. I will tell you exactly what will happen. This is an anthology series. What you're looking at are different stories from different creators under his banner. So you'll see Del Toro, you'll see Jordan Peele, you'll see many different creators creating different stories in this universe. That's what's happening. Take it to the bank, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. That's what's happening.
This is going to be
he's building different stories in the same universe, just like your people reference it pretty often, like your what the hell is it, the Animatrix, if you will, where different directors were asked to come in and put their stamp on parts of the story. Same thing. Yep. That's what's happening here.
Yep.
Right. That's why Jordan Peele is in there. That's why you have Del Toro potentially still working with it. They're all going to tell pieces of the same story.
And let me tell you, okay, let me channel my inner Stephen A. Smith. I know that Kojima is not everybody's cup of tea. We don't care. We don't care. He's making something special, something that is utilizing the cloud. This is going to be
not my cup of tea.
Well, and that's okay. For me, I kind of like Death Stranding, but I kind of don't. I'm 1 foot in, 1 foot out with that game, right? But you can appreciate the art. You know what I'm saying?
As a game, it's great. As a game, I think it's really great. Like when it gets too far up its own rear end, then it gets still too far for me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's a Strand type game. Shut your mouth. Like, it was a good game. It was all right. Yeah. It's Jusant is what it is.
And
like,
there's people
you're climbing, and that's it.
Yeah, and there's people that like they have the same attitude towards Michael Bay. There's people that don't like Michael Bay films because they feel he puts too much advertising in the games. He cheap shots with with good looking females and stuff like that. But it's still good. There's still an audience out there for it.
So I don't want to make this get too long, and we're already a little far down. Let's breeze through some of these. What did you think of this? People have been talking about having this game come out for so long. They finally put some more meat on the bones. Their first introduction of this game blew people away with detail. Now it's even worse. Like, it's crazy with the detail, dude. And it looks like no one so far has gotten what do you call it, marketing rights. It looks like it's coming to everything. What do you think?
I think this game looks too good to be true, man. I'm being honest with you. There's something about this game that if it comes out and it looks exactly like what they're showing here, this may be one of the best looking games of all time.
I mean, they started this game showing you this game. They started showing you this game with gameplay from day one. And every time they show you more, they show you trailers, but they also show you gameplay. There's not a single one of these trailers they've shown you that did not have extended full gameplay in it. I mean, even now, look at it. It shows you gameplay in addition to the cutscenes and stuff. So, like, they are putting their foot down. Like, this is really something else.
I'm shocked, number one, that no one has picked this up, and that's why I'm scared. That's why I'm scared that they might be selling us a bag of rocks, basically. All right, I hope I'm wrong. I want to be optimistic. I want to be positive. I think it's going to be one of the best games that we play this generation, but they need to deliver on what they're showing us. They better not be BSing us, because we don't need the other day, or what's that game called that they just shut it down in 4 days, the day before yesterday or whatever. Yep.
All right, so let me stop and talk about this for a minute. This also bowled me over. I've already bought this game. I purchased it, like, pre-ordered right away. It's coming out in April. This is basically, the best way I can describe it is Black Panther meets Ori.
Yep, that's fair.
Basically, that's the best way you can describe it.
Yep.
Strong black protagonist. The lead protagonist that does the voice of this is what do you call it? oh my god, Assassin's Creed Origins. What's the name of the character?
Bayek.
Yeah, Bayek from Siwa. That same voice actor that does that. Really, really perfect representation of his voice and his elements. The game looks great. As you can see graphically, it looks beautiful. Really, really well with the colors. And obviously, I'm biased. African developer. I gotta represent.
No, for sure. No, for sure.
And it looks like they've done really well here too.
It looks phenomenal. I'm definitely interested in it. It has the Prince of Persia meets Ori meets, Black Panther vibe to it. I honestly thought that it was going to be a Black Panther announcement when I saw the gentleman speaking. And he was wearing kind of like, the African robe thing. I'm sorry, I don't know the formal name of it, but I was like, oh, are we getting a Black Panther reveal or something like that? And then when they showed this, I was still, I wasn't disappointed because I was like, wow, that looked really well. That was a great trailer.
Good job. Yeah, they did a good job. Yeah, they really put something out there. And of course, as soon as they were done, it's pre-order available, and it's only pre-order available on Xbox. It's gonna be everywhere, but you can pre-order it on Xbox like now. And I'm like, all right, cool, done. So I hit the buy button.
This is the game I was telling you about. I love the art style here, and then. We got another Souls like mechanic here. It's like, come on, guys, can we have a non-Souls game?
Think about it. What has happened as of late? Souls games come and crush, right?
Yeah,
that's what they've been coming online, and people have loved it. Lies of P, people love it. Remnant, people love it, right? It's the Soul genre. FromSoft has been perfecting their formula forever. What do you expect? Obviously. Right? That's why there are Souls games everywhere, because one of them did a good job.
It looks this looks incredible, dude, and I hope I'm wrong. Maybe it's not going to be a Souls like game. I hope to be pleasantly surprised, but from everything I'm seeing here,
it looks amazing. Yeah,
it looks amazing, dude. But
it does look amazing, and the details, like, wow, it is something else. Yeah.
Oh, I'll buy it and die like 100 times, and then I'll get sick of it. So. But I'll still get it.
Yeah, it does. It does definitely look like it speaks to that Souls, like, the big crazy monsters. Yes, absolutely. Tentacles everywhere. You got to find some way of blocking on time or parrying. The whole thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's my complaint about Souls games, and it's not to turn into a Souls bash here, but I always find it cheesy that they give the bosses of these Souls games. They have all of these abilities and attacks, and they never run out of stamina, and here you are with a green bar or a blue bar, and you can only swing like 3 times, but your guy looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Come on, man.
Yes, yeah. See, you're talking about, you said Halo 5 real quick. That your description right now, that was a big reason why I disliked Halo 5. You started that game jumping off with Team Osiris. The light is green, he says. They jump off, they're shooting, they're dodging, they're this. The minute they give control in your hands, you can't do any of that whiz bang stuff. Like,
that was an epic. That was an epic entrance, though.
Like, it sets you up for failure for the rest of the whole game because you can't do any of that stuff that they just did.
But tell me that when you saw that trailer, you weren't hyped for Halo 5 to come out, man.
Of course. And then Halo 5 shows up and you can't do any of the whiz bang features.
People are haters, man. I loved it. I thought it delivered.
So I want to stop for a moment and talk about this, because I feel like some people may not understand fully what's going on or what they're looking at, right? So let's start this again. Yes, this is Blade, right? And we've talked about Blade many times, that people love Blade and all that. What people don't seem to understand, and maybe folks who live in Europe, my folks who live in France speak on it, their culture is completely different than what you're used to. Black French culture is unique than, let's say, Black UK culture, than Black American culture. It's so different. Like,
what is it that you said? What is it that you said on Saturday? Then these United States, can you get?
And these here United States of America. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, you killed me on Saturday with that. I was cracking up.
They have a completely different swag, a different flow, and it's so unique to them, right? And for those who may not understand what I'm saying, like watch some movies. Go out on a limb. TV shows. Watch Lupin. Like if you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. It's basically a French version of the French version of Luther, which is a UK show, right? The swagger is different.
Where's the Xbox logo? There's no Xbox logo. It's coming to PS5. Yeah. You saw that?
Stop the BS. and the game director is very much in that world, right? Diga, I think his name is, very much in that world.
Yes.
So I honestly think that this is going to give them a chance to explore a world you've never seen before. Kind of like when you saw like Luke Cage first on Netflix, and you were like, "Yo, this opens up a new world we've never seen before." In Luke Cage, with how it brought like New York to the masses. This is going to bring the streets of Paris to the masses in a very unique way.
I'm going to tell you why I think that when it's all said and done, this is going to be one of the best Marvel games that they've ever made. And I'm going to tell you why right here. Because the passion that Diga was up there talking with Jeff Keighley and the dude from Marvel, right? The head of games over there. You can tell his passion, how passionate he was for this character. And more times than not, that bodes really well for whatever project is being worked on. And let me tell you something, just from this tease that they did, because there's no gameplay here. This is not gameplay. So we don't know what the game's going to be like, other than it's going to be mature and it's going to be third person. That's it. We don't know anything else, and it's going to be in Paris, right?
There is one other thing that you can see from this that it tells you that it's going to do. What's that? Some people have been complaining about it, but I think that's amazing. You can't see it from our footage. I would suggest you go slow it down, watch it for yourself. You don't see it right away, but then you stop for a moment. Underneath this man's feet as he walks, you see it. You see it in this corner. If you see my mouse move, it's very hard to see it off of the screen, but when you're seeing it yourself, you'll see it yourself. They are evoking the style. Well, they're evoking the style of what do you call it? Into the Spider-Verse. They're live motion comic books. Like you see the blotchy. You know you Mr. Comic Book Man know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know what
you're talking about. They have the little dots on a comic book page. That's what they're doing here. They're emulating how a comic book would be drawn. You can tell when he's going underneath his chin and he's gonna look at the shoes right there. You see dots. You see like comic book dots, as if it's a drawn comic book that's been printed on it. You know the style I'm talking about. Into the Spider-Verse did it very well, and then they added stop motion. This one doesn't have the stop motion, but it does have the, hey, this is a comic book that you're looking at style. Really pay attention. It's there. Like people saying, look at the face right here. This right here specifically showed it. Like look right there.
I noticed
very
that.
much.
I noticed
comic book blotchy, super interesting. If this is the style they're going with, this would be one of the best ones ever. Like I can't wait. Even in like Spider-Man, the Insomniac Spider-Man, in the few instances where they put the Into the Spider-Verse suit on him, amazing looking. Like it's just amazing how they're able to make that the stop motion. I'll take or leave, but just that comic book coloring is really interesting, and I'm excited that they're trying to use that here.
Here's the thing about what they're doing here. What I think that the gameplay is going to be like is that I think that they're going to bring a lot of style with this game in the sense that, like, for example, when you kill vampires and stuff, you're probably going to get flashes and whiz bang thrown at you, but it's going to be so satisfying that it's going to be addictive. That's what I think ultimately they're going to go for, where when you play Spider-Man, right? Like I was playing Spider-Man 2 last night. The game there's something about the combat that just pops in the style that Insomniac decided to go with, right? I think that this is going to be a different type of pop. And I think that the game is going to be so colorful in its own way that it's going to really bring out that world and flesh it out. And I just have a good feeling, because again, just the passion that I saw this dude dressed with his trench coat, you could tell that this is like a dream project of his. and I'm excited
Oh
for
yeah,
them, man. I'm super excited for them, and I
absolutely.
think it's gonna do good things for Blade.
Yep. I hope it does good things for Blade. I hope it does good things for Microsoft. I need them to bring their Insomniac level quality, so we have two competitors really pushing for it in that direction, like doing right by the source material, right?
Yeah.
Just like no one can deny, and I will not let you deny that Insomniac has not done right by Spider-Man. They
Oh
are
no, they've done right.
absolutely fantastic.
They earned
That's right.
Wolverine. They earned it.
That's right. I need Arcane to do the same because they have that potential, because they've always been good. Like everyone that knows them knows that they're one great IP away, one great game away from getting the respect they deserve. Kind of like
Yeah.
Remedy, right?
And
Remedy is enjoying all of their accolades now because they finally connected with Alan Wake 2. We've been waiting for that Alan Wake 2 for a while. I think Arcane is about due as well.
You know who this opens up an opportunity for Arcane if they get it right off the bat. That will go really well with Blade. You got Ghost Rider. You got Daredevil. Can you imagine if they can tap into those IPs? And again, they need to deliver. That's the thing. That's the thing. They need to deliver.
I don't disagree.
To give Marvel that confidence, and I have no doubt that they are. I have no doubt.
Yeah. So, any of these, like, and I've been
Den
showing
of
a few of these. Den of Wolves, yeah.
That, to me, this is one of the best trailers too, even though there was really no gameplay or anything like that. Just the whole premise of the game, I thought it would make such a cool show. You know,
this is another one of those things, right? Like, to me, it's a waste because it's all it is a multiplayer shooter.
Yeah,
that's all it is. There's no beginning, there's no middle, there's no end. It's a bunch of rats in a race once again on a wheel.
It looked cool though, man. The trailer got my attention.
Graphically does, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm interested.
No, I don't disagree that it's pushing some envelopes graphically. It does look cool. It's just stop peppering lore at me and give me a story.
Okay, you need to
stop throwing lore at me.
You need to broaden your horizons and get sweaty sometimes, man. Get sweaty with us.
No. See, this, to me, that's a regression. We're going backwards. We're giving you less. We're giving you less for your money and expecting you to be just as happy with it. Oh, we're not going to give you a story that's been written by writers. No, we're going to pepper in some lore. See this door? That door was burnt off by some guy at some place at some time.
Look,
what did he do? Who knows? Move on.
Have you ever heard of create your own fun? That's what you do in these games. If me, you, and Everborn and Boom, for example, us four, we're riding on a team on Halo, and we're creating our own fun in that sandbox, brother. The stories that we would be able to remember are as magical as a single player experience.
So let me ask
those are memories that just live and they're timeless.
Let me ask you a question. How recently did you turn 40? Because you're Mr. Create Your Own Fun. That is not Graybeard's. That's not Graybeard's talk. We don't create our own fun.
Come on, man.
You tell me to create my own fun. I'll go take a nap. What is that?
I'm gonna bring you back. Okay, I'm gonna bring you back in. All right. Remember a time where you had an imagination in your games. Okay.
No, screw that, man. I need a beginning, I need a middle, and I need an end. If you don't give me that, you're saddening me.
I don't remember this game. I don't remember this.
Okay, I need everyone to pay attention to this game, because this game will be another one that you will hear come back later. Now, this is what if No Man's Sky went fantasy.
All right, I'm out.
Check this out. The whole game is literally one planet Earth, the size of planet Earth, right? And they've applied their same procedurally generated idea to fantasy genre. So not different planets, one planet, and stories are created within them, right? I think this could potentially be so game changing if only there is voice acting. If there's voice acting, it would be a game changer. We shall see.
I'm gonna kill you right now. Are you ready for this?
Go ahead.
it's 2023, about to be 2024. When is Elder Scrolls 6 supposedly coming out? In 2026, 2027, right?
Exactly. Now you understand why I said this will come back. Because the moment this game, as soon as Elder Scrolls comes out, what's gonna happen? Yo, man, this looks like no fire, no fire, light, no fire.
Let me tell you something. I find that hilarious because you want to hold. You will hold the line.
You know what's gonna happen.
You're gonna bring. Listen, bookmark this, everyone. Bookmark this. When Elder Scrolls 6 get the trailer comes out, or a teaser, Kay Asante is telling you right now that it's gonna compete with this.
Yep. Oh, you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be on the show with everyone saying, I'm gonna be like, yo, that game looks like light, no fire. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, earlier on when I said something about Starfield, you were quick to jump at me. I'm just saying, why can't these conversations be had as a community without jumping the gun? But I agree.
I see you, Floodzilla. He's asking me why would I even entertain procedurally generated content? I think procedurally generated content is great. I don't know why people have so much smack talk about procedurally generated content. You mean
create your own fun like multiplayer?
No. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about developers using procedurally generated content to still fulfill their world. No Man's Sky is full of procedurally generated content. Doesn't mean it's create your own content. There's still a story there. You still follow a beacon, and then you go and you follow where it came from, and there's still a story there. They just used procedural generation to do some development.
Okay, have we told the good folks in the chat our Starfield story with No Man's Sky? Have we ever told them?
We've told them a million times. We're moving on. We're not
gonna
go back to that.
Just remember, guys, Elder Scrolls 6, 2026, when it's revealed, 2027. Come back to this video and you'll see what we're talking about.
I have two last letters to reveal for the code. And then for those who aren't aware, thanks so much to BT Maverick 707. That is almost the whole Steam code for Hogwarts Legacy. If you don't have it, 2 letters and it's yours.
You mean the game that I didn't even mention at the Game Awards, that they were too scared to even acknowledge that it was a thing?
Indeed. Yeah. Last question before we go, sir. Baldur's Gate 3 on Xbox, will you be playing it?
Well, I got it for Steam, and look, am I happy that it won Game of the Year and it won so many awards? Absolutely. It's well deserved. And everyone has been bragging about this game nonstop all year. Super, super happy for it, and happy for the team. I'm telling you right now, those media people, they're not gonna bullshit me, Kay Asante. I know they didn't beat this game. I know the majority of them did not beat this game. Okay, but they voted it in because they just said, "Oh, it just deserves it, so it deserves it." And I gotta tell you, I agree. I think from everything that I've seen, I saw a video today where there was a content creator, a female content creator, that she was describing a little storyline there that she went on, and all of the different ways that people were interacting with her in her chat that they said they want about it. It was like 100 different ways that they all ended up with different results. They all got their different ways.
Yes,
that is special.
That's what makes the game special. That's exactly it.
That's
getting to trying your hardest to break that game, and it lets you go very far and wide and do very weird things. That's what makes that game so special.
Yeah, that's special, and I think that it got the accolades it deserved. For everybody crying about Spider-Man 2 that it was robbed, the player's choice came in, and it was Baldur's Gate 3. Enough people didn't turn up to say Starfield. Enough people didn't turn up to say Spider-Man, Hogwarts Legacy, none of those other games. Overwhelmingly, the PCMR people showed up. They hacked the servers. Baldur's Gate 3 swept the show.
So you're saying it's PCMR people that did it?
They hacked the servers, and Baldur's Gate 3 That dude needed a cart to pull off all those to haul all of those Game Award trophies that they won. Good job, man. Kudos to them. Kudos to them.
I honestly think that most likely, I think that what do you call Alan Wake 2 also deserved it. Had it won everything, I think it would have been cool too. But yeah. I won't throw shade at Baldur's Gate 3 for winning it. I think personally, Alan Wake 2 lands the plane of that game way better than Baldur's Gate 3 does. But hey, that's neither here nor there.
You know why? You know why?
Real quick, in the chat at the bottom, that's the code, Hogwarts Legacy Steam code, the whole deal right there. If you win it, when you win it, please just let us know you've won it. Thank you again, once again. Thank you so much to BT Maverick 707 for that code. Appreciate you, sir. Awesome putting that out there. We appreciate
FTW.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
FTW,
you got it?
Yeah, man, that's awesome.
Oh,
FTW,
that's awesome.
Enjoy.
That's awesome.
Enjoy.
Very cool. Very cool.
Let me tell you, I'm going to tell you why I'm glad that this game won it. Not only because it was deserving of winning from everything everyone has said, but as well as one very important thing. Okay, we've talked about this before, where the game of the year is just drowning in these over-the-shoulder narrative games, not taking anything away from Alan Wake. I think that I haven't played it myself, but from everything I've seen and heard, it's a special game as well. But I think that games like this break the mold of this thing, this unspoken thing out there that a lot of gamers have, which I think it's the minority. This proves that it's the minority, but they're a very vocal minority that to them, over the shoulder, sad dad sims, narrative, story driven games, those are
sad dad sim.
those are the highest accolades that you can make a game. That is quality personified. Yeah. No, it's not. You know, Baldur's Gate 3 is proves that it's more than that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that Baldur's Gate 3 won it personally.
I've played up to Act 3. Anybody who played Act 3 won't think that this game that Baldur's Gate 3 deserved it, because it was a mess in Act 3. The graphics are really shaky, the whole thing. And maybe it's better now. But when I played it, Act 3 was garbage. It was just really, really bad. But okay, it's all good. But it takes a long time to get to Act 3, so maybe nobody got there, and they just kept the good vibes going.
Those people did not beat this game, Kay. You know that 80% of those people did not beat this game.
Yeah, I haven't beaten it, for the record. I got to Act 3 and I've been playing, and I'm just like, oh my god, I haven't been able to finish it. And of course, then Starfield came in, and I started playing that, and I should go back at some point. But like, I genuinely think that if everybody got in there, like, and been playing it for a while, at least when I was playing it, you wouldn't think it was great, because at that time, like, I'm running a 4090 system. You get to Act 3 and you're at 60 frames per second, which is, you think, oh, 60 is not that big deal. I was averaging 140.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
you know what I'm saying?
So before we go, there is one more segment I want to get to real fast with you, and that's gaming resolutions for next year, guys.
Yes.
This is something, you know, that nerds like me think of, because I mean, who thinks of gaming resolutions? You think of, you know, New Year resolutions for yourself and your finances and stuff like that. No, F that. I think of gaming resolutions. Okay. So,
okay.
So, Kate, if I had to tell you, if you have a gaming resolution for 2024, it could be whatever you want, but it's something that you want to accomplish gaming wise, in 2024, whether it's that you want to collect more of a certain game, you want to collect retro consoles, whatever it is, you want to beat a certain genre, anything, throw it out there, brother. What are you throwing down, so that when we have a show next year, you can tell me that you accomplished it?
Three things. One, I will build a home server this year. I've had my old home server for a while. It's almost at its end. I'm gonna use that as an excuse to build a proper, clean, nice home server that'll allow me to, you know, run new stuff for a long time. Like, my machine is dying, so I gotta stop procrastinating and do that. So
where's the gaming aspect in this, though? Well, what's the gaming aspect?
So the reason why that home server matters is that's where a lot of my emus live. That's where a lot of the
Gotcha.
ROMs live. That's where a lot of the stuff that you want to keep for a long time. That's where they live. That's where and like if you want, we can go like intermediate and go advanced. Show you how to access it from the world wherever you are in the world. You can just jump into your own hard drive and pull information from it, stuff like that. Cool tech stuff. We could do that.
Awesome.
Part two of what I'm going to do. I'm making it a mission of mine in 2024 that unless I really am going to finish the game, I'm not going to start it.
Wow, that kind of lends itself to mine. Okay, I understand exactly what you're talking about.
Unless I know for sure that I want to finish this game, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to start it. Right?
Okay.
But and here's the third one. But if I touch it, pause, and I find it not advantageous to my liking, I will not be upset about it at all. I will drop it like a bad habit and not feel sad about it, because there's too much. There's not enough time in the day. I should not be spent dwelling on anything like that. So I will not pick up a game unless I'm really sure I want to play it, and I will drop it like a bad habit if I feel like it's not worth my time, and I won't think twice and feel bad about it, not once.
Gotcha.
Those are my resolutions. Yes.
Awesome. Mine is exactly in the realm that you're going to. Okay, I have found myself to be 50, 65, 75, 85% done with games, and I just don't complete them because, again, I move on. You know, I one day I'm playing Assassin's Creed. The next day I'll try Spider-Man 2. The next day I'll try this. The next day I'll try that, because I'm like a kid in a candy store. I just want to try all the candy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have tricked myself into thinking that I do not fall for FOMO anymore. BS. I fall for it still. Alan Wake 2 was a complete FOMO buy for me. Baldur's Gate 3 was a complete FOMO buy for me. And I can go on and on and on and on of all the purchases that I've made this year that have been FOMO buys for me. In 2024, I want to do two things. I don't want to fall anymore for FOMO buys. Number one, we need to understand that games that are releasing on day one are buggy messes. We have trained these developers and publishers, and more the publishers, because the developers are doing the best that they can. The publishers, we have trained them that we are going to reward them for bad behavior and for incomplete work. It's not good enough, man. That's not. We work, and I work, and I know you work, and I'm sure everybody in this chat works too damn hard for our dollars. Okay. And we're just rewarding it, man. We're just giving it to them and saying, hey, here's my money, just because I want to try out the game. It don't matter if it's a broken mess or whatever the case may be. So I want to be more disciplined in that area. Not only that, but we also know that making the change to PC, it's all about GG deals, baby. And if you can hold off for a few weeks, you're going to save more money, leading to you being able to buy more games. Okay. The second thing that I want to do is exactly what you said. If I start a game, K, I do not want to play anything else until I'm done with it. Because I'm telling you, I'm looking at my backlog here. I have it written down in a notebook. I'm like 50% done with this game, 40% done with this game, 60% done with this game. And it gets to a point that instead of it being just a fun thing, it's becoming kind of like a stressful thing now, where I'm looking at this and I'm like, what am I doing? You know, how come I haven't beat these games? So I don't want to be in this same boat anymore. I'm going to start going down the list here, starting from now, actually. And I'm going to start tackling some of these games that I have to do cleanup on. And then next year, I am going to 100% just not play something unless, you know, I'm going to beat it. And Randolph Thorthet said that. And I think Umbra, a good brother of ours in the community, also said that he does the same thing. And I see them complete their games and really get feedback and be satisfied with their experiences. And I want to get to that, because that's the type of gaming that I used to do. And I hate this jumping around thing, you know, just to try out games. I feel like if I'm not getting my money's worth. So those are the two for me, Kate.
No, I understand. See, we can't all live that grazer's life. Some people get stressed out when you graze too much. I hear you. You know, And like I said, as for me, like I am a grazer and I will be and I will continue to be a grazer through and through. But I need to also understand that in certain instances, I may not be down with the game I'm playing, and that should be okay, right? It shouldn't be a stressful situation, right? That was me for a long time. Oh, I have to finish it because I started it. No, I don't. I can just move on. It's not a big deal, right? So
exactly.
That's definitely something to consider. Thank you, gamers, for being here with us. Thank you for the year of just kind of hanging out and just talking games with us. A lot of great names that always tend to come back and kind of hang out with us. FTW, we see you. Dorian Gray, we see you. Lucius Augustus, like so many people. BT Maverick, again, thank you so much for your generosity. You were great today. You've always been great member of the community. So many folks that Floodzilla, the live supremacy, y'all show up every time, and just to have games, talk games with us just for a few minutes. Not a huge audience. We're not here talking to like a mass a PC audience, but that's how we want it. We want it close knit. Just a group of guys chatting about the games we love, the tech we enjoy, and you guys have made it a very successful year. So thank you guys so much. And same, not to be outdone, Mr. John Wolf, great doing this with you. Awesome year of podcasting with you, sir. We're definitely going to continue doing this. We're going to come back next year with some upgrades. We're going to come back next year with a renewed focus, right? We're going to try to do a bit more stuff here, try to get a bit more in depth on the Gamers Playground, sir. So tell the people where they can keep up with all your ongoings on the internet, and we'll be back again next year. What do you think?
Yeah, okay. First of all, happy holidays to you and your family, man, and happy holidays to everybody in the chat and their family as well. Thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to entertain you for a couple of hours every single Monday. I 100% they're here for you, Kay, because I have some horrible takes and I'm okay with that. And you will continue to get horrible takes next year from yours truly. Find me on Twitter, X, John Wolf, exactly how it's spelled down there, guys. Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, all those places. Hit me up with a follow. We can play some multiplayer games, since my good friend here, that was not one of his New Year's resolutions to play more multiplayer games. Maybe next year we'll get him. Okay.
All the crappy lore, forget about it.
Yeah, I mean, he when he gets one of those kill streaks in Call of Duty and he just completely shreds the competition on the other side after they've been talking smack the whole game, he'll know what that's like. Okay. But guys,
I don't need to be sweaty. It's fine.
Thank you guys so much. We really do appreciate you turning up, like I said. And guys, enjoy your holidays and have a great week.
So before we get out of here, FTW, I see you in there. He says he wants to join up for sure. Sir, we will turn the membership on. You are welcome to do so. We appreciate everybody who's been egging us to turn on memberships. Also, before we go, if you guys want to be on the show, or if you have recommendations for others you want to have your voices heard on this show, please reach out to us. Let us know who you want us to bring on the stage and have some PCMR talk with them. We would love nothing more than to bring great community members on the stage and have chats with them as well. But all right, we'll get out of here for the year. You will see us again, fresh, new, ready to go in 2024. Until then, Mr. John Wolf, always a pleasure being on this journey with you, sir, and all the great people in the chat. We will see y'all next year. Until then, stay safe. Don't get crazy in this holiday season.
No missionary gaming, baby. Woo!
Stop it. Just stop the missionary gaming stuff. Let's just go.